Hey there, fellow marketers, Professor Wolters here, and today we're going to talk about how you can help control your audience when you give a presentation, because I know it's not always easy to get the whole audience to look at you, to pay attention to you, and you need them to do that so you can get your points across, right? The ideas you want to get across to your presentation. And so what I have are just a few tips to help you control your audience, or at least get them to focus back on you. Now, it doesn't always happen, but these are things that I use in my classes that really help. And really, the first thing you need to do is make sure you introduce yourself. Look, if you actually let them know who you are, it's like, oh, Mark is talking to me, Professor Wolters is talking to me, not, oh, the bald fat guy with the ponytail is talking to me. They don't identify with you. But when there's a name, there's a person that kind of goes along with it, they're more likely they're going to pay attention to you, okay? So make sure you're introducing yourself. Another thing you can do really easily, just do a basic Q&A. Ask them questions, okay? And when you're calling out questions, people start paying attention because like, oh, I don't want the professor to call on me, and if he does, I want to make sure I have the answer for him. If she calls me, I have the answer for her. You do the little Q&As just to get people kind of noticing and paying attention, because no one wants to be sitting there going, oh, I wasn't paying attention, boss. Sorry, what was the question? You don't want to look bad, or people don't want to look bad, so we can use that to our advantage. Now, if you're going to be doing the Q&A, make sure you're asking questions they can answer, because if you ask questions that are too hard, that will actually scare people off and turn people off from your presentation. Like, I definitely don't want to be asked a question because these are impossible to answer. So do have a heads up on that. And then the third thing, which is actually my personal favorite, which is what I use all the time, it's called the Lighthouse Technique. And what you do is you're always scanning your audience back and forth. You're like a lighthouse, you know, going around and around and around. You're doing that. And what you end up doing is you're looking around and you're making eye contact with all the people and making sure who's looking, who's not looking, who's paying attention, who's not paying attention. This can really help you in your presentation, because you're going to see who isn't getting it, who isn't paying attention, who is lost. Because I can see my students, yeah, they don't get that topic, or they totally weren't paying attention. I can see that. So for you as a presenter, you can learn a lot from this Lighthouse Technique. But also, in terms of controlling your audience, it's fantastic because they know you're looking around and you're making eye contact with them. And they're like, oh, professor made eye contact with me, I got to pay attention. I don't want to be caught like looking at my phone or checking my email or doing whatever. And that can really help out. Okay, and that's the one I use most of the time. And of course, you can do the old-fashioned call them out. You see them not paying attention, you see them, you know, causing disturbances or whatever, be calling like, hey, Bob in the back, what do you think about this? I know it seems like it's a Q&A, but it's more of a calling out. And you don't have to be mean about it, but you know, it's your job to get these points across. And if they're not paying attention or they're distracting other people in your presentation, it's okay to call them out. I mean, they're adults. They're not, I mean, you can call them out for not doing their job. It's okay. So these are just things that I do in my classes, and when I do my public speaking engagements, just to keep the audience engaged. And the thing is, you're not always going to get the audience to pay attention to you all the time, okay? Just forget that, but make sure you can at least keep some of your audience paying attention and getting the most out of your presentation. Anyway, I hope this helps you know a bit more about controlling your audience when you're giving a presentation. If you want to learn more, we've got plenty of videos here on Professor Wolters to help you out. Anyway, I'll say bye from here in the beautiful Grand Tetons National Park. Bye.